morning, NuSpecies. Welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian.
And Aston, good morning, morning, morning.
Thank you all for being here today. Those of you who are new to NuSpecies, we are a natural health company. We invent and manufacture our own line of high potency plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. And these formulas are all designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. Along that way, though, we have to make a lot of health choices, right? And what a good health choice for you may not be for someone else. So that's why we host this Q&A here every Saturday at 10 a.m. to help you get the answers to your questions that should help you continue along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for being with us today. I put some opening comments in the chat. Although we will absolutely be focused on any questions that you have burning a hole right now in your mind, it is almost the new year. I know a lot of people, almost everyone probably has some kind of health-related New Year's resolution. I've got two great tips for you today about how to make your resolution successful, but I'd like to hear what your resolutions are, and then I can tell you how you might want to tweak them to make sure they actually come true. And also, it's the holiday season, and when we're dealing with a health issue, it can make enjoying the holiday season harder, right? It's not all the whistles and bows and cheer that the songs say and the sentiments of the season say we should all feel. Not everyone is experiencing that. So we're here to support you, and we want to know how we can help you. So feel free to start making comments in the chat if you have anything to say about your New Year's resolution, or maybe how your health issue has gotten in the way of enjoying this holiday season and how we can change that for you moving forward. Aston, did you want to greet anybody? I know I just went off there.
No, that's fine. I'm not seeing the chats at all, but it's I guess I probably don't need to. But
oh no, it's good when you see
so
it. All right, well, at least
yeah.
I know. Sorry about that.
But I'm gonna be doing what I usually do, and it's called New Genesis. If you're not on it, the results that people are seeing taking New Genesis with other formulas, other NuSpecies formulas, the results are amazing, people. Amazing, amazing. So
I'm gonna get the link in the chat. It's as simple as just going to our website and searching for New Genesis with the search bar. Product comes right up, and the current discount off during its launch, which is now not so new anymore, is automatically applied. So I just put that in the chat for everyone. Good morning, Fitzgerald. Hi, June. Thank you for being here. You're allowed to say good morning and hi and all kinds of other things, even if you don't have a question or you don't want to comment on my prompts. Please let us know that you're here. We like to hear from you. Yeah, so New Genesis, Asin, do you have any new stories or updates about folks getting help? There's so many. Can you hear me? Did we lose you?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I think we're doing something different with the link added me on this morning. So not seeing chats. I'm not seeing anything at all. Whatever you're
No,
posting, that's
you can't see me. Do you see me?
I can see you, but I don't see anything else.
Oh, darn.
But
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
I'll be the navigator.
As I always do, folks, if you say anything in the chat that Aston needs to read, I'll read it out for him. Don't worry. And I'll put it up on the screen as well. Oh, I'm actually
Right.
going to change our orientation as well. A little production here. Sorry, everyone. I like this one better because we can put the comments below.
Okay,
Hi, Maxine. Hi, Naruto. Good morning. Thank you for saying hi. We don't want to get lonely.
Today is in the tri-state at least. Today is a snowy, rainy, icy day. So I know that most of you are at home. Most family members are probably at home or should be home. So it's chatting them now or calling them now to join and listening today. We're going to be here for maybe about an hour. So they don't have to ask any questions. They can just join, listen in, and learn. You know, maybe you have people who you recommended, and they haven't called us, and they're reluctant, and maybe this is a good way for you to introduce them to NuSpecies, just to join and listen in. So get them on board now, and of course, if they have questions, you have questions. We want to answer your questions. Otherwise, we'll make up our questions and answer our questions. So you don't want us to do that.
We'll talk about what interests us. So folks, how have the holidays been for you? I don't know if what kind of health concerns or tension builds for you, maybe with attending holiday gatherings, the food
Mhm.
options available to you. I don't know if you're dealing with diabetes or high blood pressure, and if people cater for you or cook for you, do you worry about the salt content, the sugar content, or do you just kind of like cross your fingers and say, oh, it's the holiday, I'll be okay? How do you navigate this time of the year? And are you putting a whole lot of pressure on yourself to make up for it, or catch up in the new year?
Mhm.
Because a lot of us, we fib to ourselves a little bit when we say that. We make ourselves feel better, but then we really don't change anything. So I'm curious to know if you're having any mental or emotional stress around holiday celebrations. I know those who celebrate Christmas and Boxing Day, your celebrations might be over by now. If you're celebrating Hanukkah, you're still in the middle of it. You might not even be on today because of that. So just curious. And if there's nothing to say on that topic, no problem. Just want to try to be time sensitive here. I did put on my sparkly shirt for you today. I usually wear this like for all of December. So give me some sparkles in the chat, folks.
All right, and those of you who have friends and family members fighting serious issues, you should let us know. You can ask questions on their behalf. I'm talking to a lot of you now, especially over the last few months. You have family members who have chronic health issues. Some are hospitalized. Some, the doctors are telling them they can't help them, and everybody wants to live a little better and live a little longer. So even if the doctors have given up, maybe, just maybe NuSpecies can, give them a little more time or make them feel better in their bodies, maybe alleviate their suffering. So think about that. Uh, those passages you read from that book last night, Joe. Maybe not on this show, but I think
Have the book.
we should have an episode where we read some of it, or you read some of it, and
I'm
it
prepared if
may
you want me to.
it might help people to handle what you just mentioned, stress. It may not be food. It could be other family members who are ill. It could be their children who are constantly ill. Life comes with so many tragedies and areas of suffering that are completely inescapable. And we need tools. We all need tools. We all need tools to navigate, these hardships that we suffer. And then when our families are suffering, we suffer too. We worry. A lot
Mhm.
of you may not think that you're not worrying that you have a family member who has a serious issue or are in serious, life-threatening situation. You worry about it, even if you're not thinking about it actively. There's a mind called the unconscious mind, that powerful mind that's always there working. It can tear us down with stress, to rip our bodies apart with stress. So, this is the place for it. Maybe we all become one another's therapists, by talking about these things. But if you
Mhm.
have issues like those and you hide it, you suffer alone. And you shouldn't suffer alone. You
Mhm.
should suffer with us. We are family. We're the NuSpecies family. We're the NuSpecies clan. We're the NuSpecies nation. And we are all on this meet right now because we care about our health and our children and grandchildren and our other family members' health. That's why we're on this meet right now, to learn from one another.
Mhm. Yeah, June says I ate too many cookies that Kayla's mom made at Christmas. Not the norm for me. Yeah, I'm sure they tasted really good going down. I know for me, I typically feel pretty terrible after the fact, and Aston can testify to this. But um, we did end up at a family member's house on Christmas, even though we had planned to just stay home. And I have a big Italian family, and there was a lot of homemade goodies. And honestly, I looked at all of them and, my mind said, "Oh, you're gonna really like that, and you're gonna really wanna eat that," but I listened to my body and I was like, "I don't think I'm gonna feel good if I eat all that," and I just, for the first time in a long time, looked at all that stuff and was like, "I just don't wanna eat it," and I didn't, right, Aston?
You did not, and that's a testament to you come a long way fighting, resisting, the desire for certain types of foods,
Yeah.
God will forgive all of us when we stray a little bit here and there. I'm sure He will.
But will our bodies? That's the question. Will our
No,
bodies?
no, no. Our bodies will not forgive us. Our bodies is this scientific instrument, molecule. You put what you put in there, good, bad, or ugly. That's how you're gonna feel in the end, and that's the damage it's gonna cause. Our bodies are extremely unforgiving, very malleable, very, very malleable, but it is not. It's not the type of forgiving person that we would want to have. Our
Yeah.
bodies is not God. Yeah.
Right. June, I would say if you have a either a safe way to walk, because it's not really safe outside right now, but like a treadmill or even just like a house large enough to maybe take a few laps, but or put on some snow boots and go in the grass, but maybe just do some walking. If you normally don't walk, adding on some walking for the next couple of weeks just to help your body process those cookies, and certainly maybe take extra detox if you haven't been taking it, get back on it. If you've been taking it, maybe take an extra dose here and there. Just help your body move that stuff out. I always tell a lot of our clients who love our detox will say, I can eat whatever I want because the detox just moves it out. And I let them know, though, it's kind of like charging a credit card. You might have the balance and you can charge it, but interest will be charged. And it's the same thing. When you put that food into your body, you're setting off a cascade of many, many other damaging effects across your whole system. So even though you are still moving your bowels well and it's coming out, that doesn't mean that you haven't caused a whole lot of damage during that whole digestive process. So you want to help your body move it out and clean it up. But June just got her new bottle of NuGen the other day, and she's taking it with El Nu. That's a perfect, wonderful combination.
Hmm.
So yeah, just keep doing that. Take your detox, and maybe try to get some walking in every day, and help recover from some of that holiday damage. June also says we're her Saturday morning therapists. We're very happy to be that for you. Hi, Trevor. Good morning. Hi, NRE. Good morning. So I'll give you my top 2 tips for your New Year's resolutions. This will work for
Hmm.
any kind of resolution, but obviously our focus is a health related resolution. So number 1, you got to break it down into a tiny bit. Okay. Don't just say, I'm going to lose 40 pounds, or I'm not going to eat any sugar or any candy or at all for the whole year, right? Don't make like big goals like that. What I would say is break it down into the smaller pieces, something that is something almost that you could put on your calendar, right? You're not going to put on your calendar lose 40 pounds, but you might put on your calendar eat I like this ancient grains porridge and it fills me up and it's so healthy and it's great for my gut.
What are the
Maybe
ingredients?
uh-huh, what?
What are the ingredients of the ancient grains?
Okay. Well, I can share the recipe, but it is amaranth, millet, quinoa, amaranth, millet, and quinoa. Um, but anyway, I like this porridge. So maybe instead of saying I will lose 40 pounds this year, maybe you will say I will eat my ancient grains porridge every morning for breakfast. Right? That's an actual thing that will have a cascade of health benefits that will lead and support weight loss, but that's actually something you could put on your calendar or make a reminder for and do every single day. So if it's not on your calendar, it's not real. And that's a great quote from Marie Forleo. If it's not on your calendar, it is not real. So if you don't have something you could put on your calendar, you're very likely not going to do it, because as soon as the day-to-day stuff takes over, your life starts running you. You are not running your life. So if you have a New Year's resolution, tip number one, break it down into something you can actually do and or put on a calendar. And tip number two is put it on the calendar. So maybe part of losing 40 pounds also means that you want to start walking for 10 minutes after you eat lunch, because movement after eating supports digestion. It helps regulate your blood sugar levels after eating. There's many, many benefits to walking after eating, just for like 10 minutes, or just any sort of
Mhm.
movement. It doesn't even have to be walking. It could just be moving your body for 10 minutes. Then you want to put that on your calendar. Maybe if you know what time you eat lunch every day, walk for 10 minutes after eating. These are very specific goals that you can see the beginning, the middle, and end of, and that will lead toward that weight loss goal. But that are you can really accomplish and like check off the list, and that makes you feel very accomplished and helps build confidence and leads towards even more good decisions for that day. So those are my two big tips for your New Year's resolutions. And I really hope you do take my advice. If you have a New Year's resolution that you want me to convert into that version of with my tips, then put it into the chat, and I can help you turn it into that. Um, Hi Tony, good morning. June says, "Did Aston indulge in any sweets? I know he used to have a sweet tooth."
Used to? Are you kidding me, June? Boy,
Still does.
I still have a sweet tooth, but what I do, I cut back. Jillian did pass me two tiny cookies. They're each one as large as a quarter,
They're those like
and
there's like those thumbprint cookies that you put the like jelly in the middle.
yeah, and I had one. I didn't have both. I had one. I had
Yes.
one, and my body said to me, "Stop, Aston, stop." And
Yes.
I threw that one in the trash. So I
Yeah.
think that's what I had. I didn't have any cakes. I have a very, very sweet tooth, especially for Jamaican fruitcake. I am really crazy about that. I didn't have any this Christmas. So,
You bought
but
one. You bought one a couple weeks ago when
I
it
I
was your
did buy
birthday.
one. I bought
You
half. I bought half of one,
right.
and I had some. I
Yeah.
had some, and I said to myself, "No more, no more. I'm not having any more."
Yeah.
So I didn't eat any more of it. So, but the reason for that is I could feel when I eat. I do taste junk food now and again. So you all know I'm not as perfect as I sound. I wish I were, but when I do venture off on some junk food, I could feel the effects of it. My energy level goes down. Yes, I get the sugar high in the first maybe 20, 30 minutes, and then I crash. And then I start feeling my body losing energy because my immune system is now cranked up, trying to destroy whatever I put in my stomach or my small intestine. And I can just feel the energy just ebbing away.
Hmm.
So, but all of you have to go through that over and over and over and over. You have to go through the suffering. I remember telling Jillian years ago when I used to run a lot. I used to run maybe 60 miles a week, and I would go to my
That was
sister's
60,
house and
folks. 60. He didn't say 16. He said 60 miles per
yeah,
week.
yeah, I used to do that, and I used to go to my sister's house in Mount Vernon, and they would have all this, the jerk pork and the oxtail. And when my sister-in-law, who comes there, make oxtail, I don't care whether you like meat or not, you have to eat it. If you taste it, you have to finish what you took. It tastes that good. But then the next morning, I would start to go for my run. Literally hours later, probably 8, 9 hours later, or even more, I would be going for my run. And for the first 3 or 4 miles, I could feel the food in my stomach jiggling. I could feel it moving in my stomach. And I knew it was the meat, was the oxtail or the jerk pork or whatever. I knew it was because I could taste it. As I get into my long run, I could literally, as my body start to to try to digest it because it was undigested for all those hours, people. And as my body started to digest it, my stomach started to churn. I could taste it. I could taste the sensation of it in my mouth. And that's why I knew it was that. But even so, it took me several years before I actually gave it up, gave up eating that kind of food completely.
Mm-hmm.
I had to suffer. I had to feel the pain. And then my first mile or 2 miles of running was absolute hell. I had no energy. I
Mm-hmm.
literally had to force myself, to keep going. And when I don't do that, my first 2 or 3 miles are just nothing, when I used to do that run. So that's how I learned the destruction certain types of foods were having on my body, on my immune system, on my digestive system. So,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody has something. All of you have something, and especially as you get older, age, is a great thing. When you age, it comes with wisdom. Yes, you lose some muscles here and there, some hormones here and there. And if you're not careful, diabetes and blood pressure start to come into the picture and all these diseases, cancer. I was telling Jill that we have a lot of older clients who are old clients from 20, 15 years ago who are coming back after they had gotten better from taking NuSpecies for over a decade. And now they have a new health issue. It could be diabetes, it could be cancer, it could be prostate issue, it could be breast cancer. All those little things they had in their labs 10, 5, 10, 20 years ago that were nothing are now acting up. That dense breast is turning into cancer. That little inflammation in the prostate is turned into prostate disease or prostate cancer. And I can tell you, folks, it's horrific for me because I was telling Jill last night my depression about this, and it's true depression. These are people who are family. I know them. I know their parents. I know them. I know their kids. I know some of their grandkids. So these are family. I feel like over the last 20 years or more, I grew up with them. And now they're coming in with these issues. So why am I saying that to you? I'm saying that to you that as you get older, start taking care of yourself. Cut out salt and sugar. Cut out, allow the meat to eat. And as soon as you stop eating meat, just cut back and animal flesh and dairy and then oil and butter. Cut back on those and try to get a lot of green in your diet. When I say green, I mean green vegetables and fruits that are raw. Make salads, juices, smoothies. This is now all of you are millionaires, you older ones, and go into your bank account, your savings, your retirement, and take some money out and buy a good blender to blend your smoothie, to make your juice, to make your foods, at home. That's what you should do now. Invest in living longer. Please do that. Invest in living longer because if you don't, you're going to die young. You're going to die younger. A lot of us will die younger if we don't take good care. As age set in, our immune system goes down, our muscles go away, our hormones stop making in the way it used to make us to keep us alive. And to keep those going, you have to eat better. Jill just mentioned, motion, exercise. The motion of mass is the most important law in our universe. Motion, not just things moving, our bodies moving, our arms, our legs. You don't have to run. You can just walk, or you can just stay in one place and exercise, stretch. You have to get the
Dance.
blood in your blood vessels moving. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, I said dance.
Oh yeah, move. Just move. You don't have to move like you was 15 years old. Just move. Motion is motion. And if you have a swimming pool, go there every morning, every evening, and swim around a couple of times, or just go walk around your home. Even if you're 80, 90 years old. A lady came to see me last night here in Bronxville, where I am today. She's 79 years old, and it was cold outside. I think it was in the teens, and she was out walking to get her exercise in. So you all can do it. You all can do it. We all can do it. Eat better, drink better, clean water, and then if your body needs a little help, take in NuSpecies. Ask us what you need to get, and we'll tell you what you need to get. We have everything you need now at NuSpecies to keep you going. We have finished the new Genesis after 20 years, and we have the portfolio of products and formulas to support your body, to help you, your parents, your grandparents, your children, you to live longer, to live better, to live with less suffering. Even if your issues don't go away completely, we have it all now. After 20 years, we have it all that can assist you to support your bodies.
All right. I want to catch up and say good morning to Diana. I think Tony, I said good morning to you. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Hi, Earl. Hey, Susan. Thank you for being here. Hi, Queen Nesta. Good morning, Darnett, Maurice, Headley, May. Hi, May. Okay, wow, we've got this is so wonderful. Thank you all for being here and saying good morning. June had said the sweets, the cookies are an addiction for her. She can't just have one. What I will say is, yes, sugar, especially like processed cookies, are just perfectly designed to trigger every single thing in the human brain to make us not stop. But sugar is it's pretty difficult. Our brains crave sugar because it's what we need for energy, but our brains think we're going to reach for a piece of fruit or a vegetable. Our brains don't know that we have access to these deadly processed foods, or the chemical sugar that's been broken down and extracted from its natural food source that is actually dangerous for us. So we crave sugar for a good reason, but in our modern lifestyles, it can be deadly. So June, what I would say, and this has helped me, and it takes a lot of practice, and it's something I would even like meditate on in the morning to remind yourself that you want to do this later in the day, but is to, if you know you're going to eat the junk, slow down. So make sure you're taking nice deep breaths, you're chewing slowly, you're actually tasting and smelling the food, the junk, let's just say the cookie. You're smelling it, you're tasting it, you're actively participating in the enjoyment of it. And you taking deep breaths the whole time you're eating it. You will find that just slowing down and being very present with eating it really satisfies you and will make it so that you're not going to just impulsively or compulsively just be shoving one cookie after another into your mouth. It's hard to do, but it's a great practice if you can just write about it every morning. Just remind yourself, today I'm going to eat slowly. I'm going to smell my food. I'm going to taste my food. I'm going to take deep breaths while I eat. You will find you eat a whole lot less. Your brain and body have time to communicate about whether you're full, whether you really need this, how is it making you feel, so you don't end up with that big bloated belly and stomach ache a half hour later because you ate so much food in 20 minutes, right? So that would be my best advice as far as if you know you're going to eat it anyway, how to avoid that addictive or compulsive way of eating. All right. Queen Nesta
So,
says, good morning. Oh, yes. We have a question too, so I
um,
don't want to get too far behind in the chat.
yeah, I do my best not to get
Yes.
too far in the chat.
If you asked a
I would
question,
like,
and
and that
we
whole
will get to it. Yeah, sorry, Aston, go.
and that whole idea of eating sweets. I would like you all right now to just take 1 minute and Google how many viruses are in the human body. And viruses and bacteria, they're very similar. Just that bacteria is a little more dangerous, but Google how many viruses are in the human body, how many bacteria in the human body, and when you Google that, you're going to see that our bodies have more bacteria than cells. The average adult human has about 80 trillion cells. 80 trillion cells, and we have over 300 trillion bacteria in our bodies, and we have a lot of trillions of our bacteria as well, viruses and bacteria. So the point here is that when you eat sugar, especially processed sugar, if you eat a fruit and it's sweet, that's not sugar. Sugar, the really bad sugar is the processed sugar that we eat in these cookies and the foods that we eat. That we go to the market and we buy these sugars and we don't even know what it is. It tastes sweet and that's good enough for us. We don't know how it's made, what it's made from. But when we eat processed foods in general, and when we eat these sugars in general, we're feeding those bad bacteria in the small intestine and the colon. you're feeding trillions of viruses and bacteria. Trillions people you're feeding, trillions, and then repeating it because that's how you get the addiction. When we eat these processed sugars and we now have this strong desire for them, the desire is the hormones, people. The bad bacteria are producing and telling our liver, telling our pancreas, telling our thyroid, telling our stomach they need more of that thing. That's what addiction is. The bacteria, the viruses are producing hormones. And when they produce hormones, guess what happens? Over time, those hormones will intermingle with our body's natural hormones from our endocrine system, whether for man it's his prostate, adrenal gland, for women her breast glands, her uterus, her ovaries, her thyroid. Now you know why, at least part of the reasons why these hormonal systems go bad. The viruses, the bacteria, because of the foods you're eating, are contributing to that, people. So when you have that desire for that piece of fruitcake or that cookie, June, you think it's your mind doing it. No, the viruses and bacteria are producing the hormones to overpower our minds, and we just can't resist it. So that's what you're doing. So don't forget that you get away from this meat. That's one of the things you should write down in your notebook when you have these strong desires. Hormones are being produced, and then the stress hormones now will come into play. And you all know what stress does. Stress kills. Stress kills with high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, autoimmune diseases, and a lot of other health issues. All right, people?
Mm-hmm. And just keep in mind that the good bacteria, the kind of bacteria that actually improves your health, that lives in your gut, only eats fiber. There is no fiber in animal flesh. There's no fiber in animal fluids. There is no fiber in processed flour, or like white rice. So these are things that will, when you eat them, help the bad bacteria grow and kill off the beneficial bacteria. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes or beans, and whole grains. These are what have fiber and feed those health beneficial bacteria that live in your gut and allow them to kill off the bad bacteria. So, if you are still going to eat any sort of animal flesh or fluids, they should be like less than 10% of your diet. And even then, still harming you. But if you have to eat them, it should be very, very little.
And a
Okay.
final note, really quick, final note. So now you see your children going crazy and you can't control them. Now you know why. It's not their fault, it's our fault. We're the one who put that food in their mouth. Poison food. That's what it is. It's poison. They're poisoned. And that's why their minds have gone crazy. That's why their neurological system has gone crazy. All right, folks? All right, Joe.
Okay. We'll probably need to dive into that one a bit deeper, but let's see. So Maurice asks, and I don't know what this is, so maybe you do, and I'm not sure I'll pronounce it correctly, but Maurice asks, how do you get rid of hydrocele or
Oh,
hydrocele? I don't know how to.
um, right. So that's a great question. And it's a great question because everybody right now, if you have a lump, if you have a cyst, if you have a nodule, if you have a bump, if you have a tumor, if you have a mass, is because you have an infection. It's either a bacterial infection, a microbial infection, or a viral infection. That's what caused all these issues. When we have these cystic issues and the body is creating these warehouses, that's what, hydrocele or however it's pronounced. That's what it, that's what it is. That's what's in there. You have chemicals in there, you have inflammation in there, you have viruses and bacteria in there. And these issues over time, as you all know, can turn to cancer. So if you have any of those issues, what you need to do, you need our MSM, you need I'm just going to give you the very basic. You need our MSM, you need the anti-inflammatory, you need the new Genesis.
All right, I'm putting these in the chat. So MSM, anti-inflammatory.
And the new Genesis.
Right. Would this be the regular anti-inflammatory, the original?
The original or the stronger one. When I usually give the basic, but if you have the budget, folks, you can ask for the upgraded portions or formulas. So like the anti-inflammatory, we have the regular, we have the upgraded. I'm recommending that you start with the regular, but depending on how chronic the issue you have, how long you've had it, you may need the upgraded anti-inflammatory. And then if you want to do the ultimate for these type of issues, lump, bump, cysts, whatever nodules, if you want to go the extra, you would add in the God Formula 2 and the Fire Focus. You add those two in, and you'll be in great shape fighting these cysts, lump, bumps, nodules. Okay. So that's what's caused. All of these issues are caused from chemicals. And then once the excess chemicals in our bodies produce them, that's where viruses and bacteria and microbes and parasites, that's where they love to live. And the harder those lumps become, is the more likely they're going to turn to cancer. So that's why when people they do sonograms, or they do ultrasounds or MRIs or whatever scans, the doctors are also looking to see how dense those lumps or bumps or cysts or nodules are. The more dense they are, is the more likely they can turn into cancer.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was just Googling it quickly, and what comes up with the AI summary is like, a hydrocele sac it's not dangerous, but it can be linked to other health issues. And I always dislike the medical industry's simplification of things like this. So, okay, so maybe the development of that sac itself, or the sac itself, is not dangerous, but it's abnormal. It shouldn't be there. So whatever allowed that to develop means your body wasn't on top of things, right? So the fact that it's there is abnormal, which means your body's not functioning optimally, which is dangerous. So I always hate when they say, "Oh, well, this symptom here is not dangerous. Don't worry about it." No, worry about it. You're right, Maurice, to be asking. And you just got to get your body to regulate that. Let me know if you have any trouble with those links. Maurice is asking, how can I get in touch with you? So Maurice, I'm just going to put the number in the chat. You can call to book an appointment with Aston. And then this is the number, or you can email support@nuspecies.com, and we can book your appointment through email. Just give us some dates and times that work for you. Okay, great. Thank you, Maurice.
You're so right. Your statements just trigger another idea for everybody. Everything I say, I try to make it relevant for all of you. You have a cyst, you have a lump, you have a bump, you have a nodule, you have a mass. And I want you all to know that each one of those is a living thing. It's alive. It is completely alive. It is totally alive. That lump, that cyst, that bump, that density you have, it is completely alive. It's sick. It is a sick issue, but it's alive. It is sickly. And it grows. It grows roots like a tree, like a plant, like a flower. It grows roots. And those roots can stretch into other tissue and cause other issues in other tissue. That's how cancer spread. When someone has cancer in one place and it spread to another place, it's because the cancer grow roots and the roots infiltrate other tissue. It naturally happens. It's not a miracle. It's not magic. It grow roots and the cancer just follow the roots like a tree, like a plant. Or you all have gardens or you see plant. You put one in and then you have others go around it. and we went to a place in where was it? Was it Colorado, where you drove for miles and you see one tree, even though there are millions of those trees, but it's one plant. It's the same, that one plant. I forget the name of it. You all can Google it. But that's the way our bodies work. That's the way diseases work. It never stays one place. Every disease is alive. It's a living, sickly creature, deadly, dangerous creature. And if our bodies can't fight it, it only gets worse. If our immune system is too weak to kill it, destroy it, stop it, it only gets worse. So what we do at NuSpecies, we have these formulas that we have invented to give the body the toolbox, as Jillian likes to call it, or to give the body the minerals, the chemical, the natural chemicals, the vitamins, the amino acids, the proteins, the phytochemicals, all these phytonutrients, millions of phytonutrients in our formulas because they are all natural. We give you these and we use them as well to give the body what it needs to fix itself. That's what we do. We give the body what it needs to fix itself, to fight cancer, fight blood pressure, fight diabetes, fight tumors, fight cysts. Some people get better quickly, and some people it takes them a very long time, and some people don't get better at all because when they come to us, it was too late. The condition was too much. It has infiltrated their body. The roots had infiltrated their bodies so much. And then if they had done chemo or radiation or other medication or other therapies that created side effects that just make all that worse. So, but everybody can fight. And if you fight hard enough, I am sure you will win. And win means you live better, you live longer, and maybe sometimes that's all we can do.
All right. On that point, we've got some new Genesis stuff here. So we've got Chris asking, what is New Genesis? But then we've got Headley giving a wonderful testimonial for New Genesis. And then we have Diana asking about what we would recommend for a cough. So all of these are related. So Headley says, Aston, you're the most credible herbalist. Your New Genesis is truly a healing agent. And then he says, my wife had a cough for months and nothing worked from her allergist. However, New Genesis resolved her chronic coughing. Headley, thank you so much for that statement. So Diana, when you say you've had a cough for a couple of months, what would NuSpecies recommend? Definitely New Genesis, but it also depends on the root cause of the cough. There's many things that can cause a cough. So our question back to you would be, are you already on New Genesis, or which formulas are you actively taking right now of NuSpecies? And are you actively taking them? Maybe you just have them on your counter and you haven't been consistent. So if you can give us some more detail, Diana, we can give you an answer. Ask, I don't know if you want to elaborate on that at all.
Oh, absolutely. So Headley and all of you, when NuSpecies was begun over 20 years ago, the New Genesis formula was the formula I intended to create, and I just couldn't get it together. It was very difficult to get it together, and I guess the pandemic helped. I was not traveling to the office as much, and I was more at home or in the head office, so I had more time to work on it. But it's a formula that will help the body to rebuild the genes and the DNA. Now, there are thousands of genes in DNA. There are actually millions if you count the nuclear genes. We have two types of genes. We have the nuclear genes, and then we have the mitochondrial genes. The mitochondrial genes are the one that get sick the most and cause the most diseases and cancers and all of that. The nuclear gene, usually doesn't get sick, but when it does, it's over for us, if it ever does, but it really ever gets sick. And the mitochondrial genes, of course, are made from viruses and bacteria. Viral particles and bacterial particles are primarily what makes up the the mitochondrial genes that make us sick all the time. And that's why viruses and bacteria are so deadly, so dangerous. They probably cause the most cancers and the most diseases. So, Nugenesis, by rebuilding the genes and rebuilding the DNA, the body is able to function better overall. So the hormones will get better. The genes will produce more healthy hormones. The genes will produce more healthy cofactors and enzymes. Enzymes and cofactors work together. Cofactors are like minerals. You know, a good example are the minerals in our digestive system, the sodium, the potassium. Those are all cofactors that the body makes. And, you know, of course, the immune system I mentioned. So by rebuilding your genes and DNA, that's what you're doing. And now, when you take your NuSpecies protocol or package, those formulas, the new genesis will make them even more potent. They're going to work even better. If you're taking the anti-inflammatory, it's going to work better. You're taking the God formulas, the LNU, any of the formulas you're now taking, while you're taking new genesis at NuSpecies, it's going to make those formulas even more potent, make them work faster, work better. So that's what a lot of you are seeing. And
So Aston,
and
Diana is
yeah.
she's only taking the B complex with vitamin C. So
Hmm.
she definitely needs to take more. I asked her if she's willing to elaborate on any other pre-existing issues she may have. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, like, not to scare anybody, but my mom 5 years ago had a cough for months, and it turned out she had stage 4 lung cancer. So, you could have a cough because you have allergies, or you can't get rid of, a virus, or it's like a post-viral cough or something that's normal to last for a while, especially if your immune system is weakened. So
Hmm.
just a huge range here. And that's why it's tough to just say, with very little information, exactly which formulas you may need. Um, and if you're not willing to talk publicly about all your health issues, which we understand, Diana, you may need to just call and check in with Aston or Crystal, our RN, about what else you should be doing. But Aston, would you say at the very least, because everyone should be taking New Genesis, and we tend to get great results with coughs with New Genesis, that she should be getting New Genesis?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just, infections, folks. It's rebuilding the whole body. So you're getting all the benefits from your genesis that you probably don't see. And yes, if you have a health issue, it means the body is too weak to fix that. So
So
whether
she
it's a
said that
cough,
last year she had SARS.
okay.
So that's a viral infection or bacterial SARS?
Well, it's virus, so it's
Mhm.
probably dormant. A lot of people who have the COVID, long COVID, you've all heard the term long COVID. What that means is that they're still COVID viruses in the body. They're just dormant, but they're affecting the functions of the genes and DNA and the body in general. So if you have a cough, if you have long term, any type of issues like those, it means that your body isn't able to fight something. And when the doctors say to you, they don't see anything, you know something is wrong. You can't just sit
Mhm.
there until that thing grow into an oak tree.
Yeah.
You don't want it to just grow into this thing that becomes incurable, but
Yeah, so
something is
Diana,
wrong.
she's saying, then I had for a long time congestive head and sinus infection too.
Hmm.
So clearly your immune system is really broken down. You can absolutely take more of the B vitamins. That teaspoon dose is for like daily healthy person maintaining health. You can absolutely take more. And I'd say in the meantime, Diana, like, take closer to a tablespoon, or you could take the teaspoon multiple times per day. The one thing I will say with the B vitamins is there's something called the niacin flush. And that's because the vitamin niacin can make your blood flow closer to your skin. It's a completely healthy response, but if you take more, you might be more likely to have like a hot, maybe itchy sensation on your skin for a couple of minutes. It's totally healthy and normal. I just don't want you to get scared if you take like a tablespoon. But Aston, so knowing all of that, what do you? Can we give her a few products to get right now?
Yeah, she definitely needs, at minimum, the new genesis and the anti-inflammatory.
Okay.
And take those for a month or so, you should start feeling better. And then if you want to do something even more potent, you can let us know. But definitely the new genesis and the anti-inflammatory.
Okay. I'm just putting the links in here again for you, Diana, just so you don't have to scroll up. Just
And
remember,
people,
yeah,
sorry,
the
go ahead.
anti-inflammatory on the website, there's a toggle for the potency. So when you go to this link, if it's already on the upgraded one, that doesn't mean you have to get that one. You can toggle for the original potency. But considering how long you've had these issues, I would say go as powerful as you can afford.
Hmm. So folks, if you have these lingering issues, please do not ignore them. Jill just mentioned her mom. When
And she
we
didn't
were
ignore
on
it.
her,
She went to her
we're
doctor
on her.
over and over and
We,
over again, and they didn't diagnose it until very late. So,
right.
yeah.
So we were around her a lot. We still are. And during that time when she was coughing, it was just a cough, just like an annoying dry cough, no mucus. And she probably thought it was just nothing. She actually was forced by us and others to get it checked out by, another doctor. She's listening now. And she did. And luckily she did, because if she didn't, she probably would be dead now. So when you have lingering issues, and she wasn't in any pain, by the way, folks. She was in no pain, no blood when she coughed, nothing. It's something that you would ignore easily. She was breathing fine. She exercised. She go for her walks. She eats well, not as good as I would want, but she eats well enough. And the point here is that she had this lingering issue for years, and she didn't know that it was dangerous and deadly. So if you have a lingering issue, even if it's a little bump you have in your arm, there's a gentleman from Guyana. He had a little bump on his arm, and he used to say, it's just itching him. It's nothing. The doctors can't find what's wrong. And one day, his arm, the whole arm went numb. Just giving you a NuSpecies story. And he went to the doctor thinking that maybe he slept on his arm or something. And the doctors couldn't find what it was for about 6, 7 months. And finally, the pain moved from his arm to his back, to his spine. And they started doing more in-depth testing. And you know what they found? Stage 4 cancer in his bone, in his spine, from that little bump on his arm that he had there for several years. And he did not recover. It was too far gone. He did chemo and radiation, and the chemo destroys bone marrow, destroys heart, and he died. He died from the complications of the destroyed bone marrow that couldn't produce enough red blood cells to carry oxygen to keep him alive, and his heart were just destroyed by the chemo. Those are two side effects of these medications. So there are many lessons in that one statement I just made. You can't wait to get sick because the medication may end up killing you. Probably the third or fourth leading cause of death in the world is medication, or the complications from medication, just so you all know that. So you can't rely on medication to fix your bodies. You should not. They have side effects. You should Google them. Don't wait for me or your doctors to do it for you. Google them yourself. Google the medication. Go to the FDA site and type the medication in, and you'll get all the side effects. And you'll see sometimes that the medication you're taking have worse side effects than the issue you're taking the medication for. And I am not saying you shouldn't take the medication. You should take the medication, but you have to keep rebuilding your immune system and rebuilding your body so your body can fix itself.
All right, we've got a question from Derek Ford. Is the circulatory formula good for cleaning arteries?
It's a blood circulation formula that everybody probably should be on. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, those are some of the more primary blood diseases besides the lymphatic cancers or the blood cancers. So if you have high diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, those are the main cause, the number one causes of blood circulation issues leading to a lot of other health issues, so including heart disease. So everybody should be on it. It's primarily a blood circulation formula, and it helps. We use it for the eye, the kidney, and other issues in the body that need blood circulation.
So if Derrickford has clogged arteries or artery issues, he should be doing something else in addition?
He would need the Alnu and the New Genesis and maybe a few other things. Yes.
Mhm. All right, Derrickford, it sounds like you need a just a consultation just to get a more specific recommendation.
But let me not make this too simple. I
Okay,
think I have.
okay.
Anyone who has a blood circulation issue, it means that you have a lot of inflammation in your blood. You have inflammation, possibly infection, and chemicals in the blood. That's why there's a blood circulation issue. So if you go to your lab report and you go to the CBCs and you look at the RDW, that's the red blood cell distribution, that it tells you how thick your blood is, if it's too high, and if it's too low. It will give you an idea about your blood circulation, that your blood is either too thick and you need to do something about it. But the blood is thick when it has inflammation, infection, or other free radical chemicals. That's what make it thick. That's what creates blood circulation issue. Fat, chemicals, infections, inflammation, and other unwanted substances. So those have to be gotten rid of too. If there's an infection, it has to be gotten rid of. If there's some underlying issue causing it, that issue has to be gotten rid of as well. So yes, just taking the blood circulation formula may not be enough. It could be, but it may not be enough. So it depends on the chronic nature of those underlying causal issues that are affecting the blood in flowing the way it should.
Okay, great. I missed a question over on Instagram. She says, I love my new Genesis. Just have to ask why the labeling is different from the other products.
Hmm. I guess we're still working on labeling, right?
Maybe
Yeah, the
she's
label.
assuming, I think she might be asking about why why the ingredients aren't on there. Um,
Oh, well, the ingredients are proprietary, unfortunately. We only have 5 formulas out of the probably 60 or 70 we have, that we don't display the ingredients. So
mhm.
I think our batting average is not so bad.
Right. Yeah. So if she's asking about the label design in general, just because we were rushing, we wanted to just get it out, and we didn't want to. If we go through our normal label design and printing process, it probably would have added another month to the launch. So we just asked our printer to just give us like a quick little rectangle label, and we just stuck it on there. That's actually why we just prioritize getting people health results. If Aston heard about one more person with a preventable health issue get worse, I think he was going to explode. So we just said, stick the name on our background and give us a rectangle. And we stuck it on the bottle. And that was that. It'll get a
And the
nice
truth,
soon.
the truth is, we were selling New Genesis for about 4 or 5 months without a label at all. There was nothing on the bottle,
Yeah. And then actually,
because
we originally thought we were going to put it in glass, so we didn't want to spend too much time on the label for the plastic bottles if it was going to go into a glass bottle. But then we thought maybe the glass bottle would just bring more delivery issues and fulfillment issues. So we don't think we're going to do the glass. So just again, to expedite launching the product, we just did like a temporary label. It will change. You'll get a nice label. Even if we don't put the ingredients on it, it will eventually have a nice label. So good question. Okay.
mhm.
Another question comes from Yvonne. Just going in order here. What's good for nerve damage? Was given pregabalin or pregabalin 50 milligrams to take.
So there's no medication for nerve damage. The medication they're people primarily get are steroids or other medication that will help with pain. The tingling, the numbness from the nerve damage. But in terms of the nerves regrowing and reconnecting properly, That's what we can help you to do. And fixing nerves are probably the hardest thing for the body to do. So we have a system for nerve repair or for nerve damage that you can get to support your body. But we would like to know the cause of the nerve damage. Is it radiation? Is it chemo? Is it surgery? We want to know the cause of
Diabetes.
because we need to fix, right, diabetes. We need, right, exactly. That's a huge one. We need to know because you also have to fix the cause of the issue, not just fixing the issue. We have to know what the cause is. So if you can tell us or get on my calendar, we can create the right protocol for you to get you help.
Right. Yeah. So this medication is just, it's an anticonvulsant and it decreases the number of pain signals that are sent out by damaged nerves. So it's basically just making it so you don't feel the damage. But that doesn't mean that it's fixing anything. So if
Right.
that medication is giving you some relief, don't think of that as delaying doing anything. And obviously, you're here asking this question, so you're not. But sometimes once we relieve the symptom, we forget that we still need to be investigating and treating the root cause.
Hmm.
Yvonne is saying, I don't know what the cause is. Electrodiagnostic studies showed mild chronic left S1 and right L5 radiculopathy.
So that could be causing it. That's a chronic inflammation at the disc and the spine. So that could be cause of it, inflammation or infection. Those are another two big causes of nerve damage. So it sounds like your nerve damage is not the chronic type. And you may have a little bit of arthritis in the areas as well. So um, I can tell you what to get now. Excuse me. You need to get the anti-inflammatory, the MSM, any of the L-new with the new Genesis. And if you're having any kind of osteo issue, which is bone damage, softening of the bone, you may need to get the calcium and the vitamin D as well, because those could be taking place in the joint. You may be having some damage to the bones and the tissues in the joints, whether it's the ligaments, tendons, synovial fluid, any of those will be damaged as well for sure. So, but let us know if you have any kind of osteo issues. And if you do, you'll need to add in the calcium and the vitamin D to help repair the bones.
Okay. I wrote all those in a list, Yvonne. If you just search those on our website, you will find them. Yvonne did say she hasn't started taking the medication.
Hmm.
Um, so, you know, that's always a difficult choice. If something can give you relief, but potentially could come with other side effects. I think it depends on how much you're suffering. What's the trade-off with the side effects? How long do you think you'll be on it? If you're going to be taking very aggressive action to help your body fix itself, then sometimes you could use some relief from the medication, but you have to assess all of those factors when you make that
Hmm.
decision. I agree. It's a tough one. Okay. Gracelyn asks, what is the difference between the regular anti-inflammatory and the new one? I noticed the price is different. So, Grace, I'm going to start with saying the difference between the regular anti-inflammatory and the upgraded anti-inflammatory is the upgraded is just higher potency of the plants or herbs per dose. So rather than, for a lot of folks, if we gave you the original potency and told you to take it 3 times a day, you're more likely to miss doses and not get the results you're looking for. Whereas if you just pay double the price, which you would have been paying anyway, if you had to take the regular one frequently, so you're just going to pay more upfront, not more in the long run, to get the higher potency, and then you only have to take 1 dose, and you're getting all the nutrition in 1 dose, which just makes you more likely to get the proper dosing and to more likely get the results. If by the new one you're referring to New Genesis, this is very different from the anti-inflammatory. It's more foundational for repairing genes and DNA, and they're often used together. And so the price is different on New Genesis because it is a different product. If that didn't answer your question, go ahead and post again. We will be wrapping up soon, though. Um, Okay. Okay. Yvonne did confirm she does have rheumatoid arthritis. So, like you said, there's probably multiple things contributing to nerve damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Grace is saying she's taking it for high cholesterol, but Grace, I'm not sure if you're referring to the anti-inflammatory or NuGenesis. Okay, just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. If I missed you, hold on, hold on. Okay, Headley just wants you to know, Aston, I took advantage of the discount and I have a stockpile of over 6 bottles of NuGenesis. As healthy as I am, I live on NuSpecies. Thank you.
Well, Headley, I can see why I had none. I just brought some more into Bronxville. I know where they are. Need to get your address so we can, if we run out again, we can come borrow a few from you.
We're gonna need like a sub fulfillment station at Headley's house. All right, everybody. I think we've made it through all the questions. Thank you so much for being here today. I do want to ask you before you leave 2 favors. 1, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't yet. If you're over on Facebook or Instagram, that is wonderful. And if that's where you prefer to be, we appreciate it. It's just YouTube is really where we're building the resources of all of our videos, where we can create playlists so that you can watch topics that you prefer. So that's really more the official place that we want to be on a regular basis. So if you could subscribe to us there, and if you watch our content, it increases our viewing hours, which gives us access. So remember, I told you if we got over 1,000 subscribers, we would have access to these cool new features. But the additional thing there was that we also have to have over a certain amount of viewing hours. So just subscribing alone isn't enough. You have to actually watch and engage our content. So if you can copy and paste our YouTube channel and send it to folks that you love and that you want to have this information, then when they watch, we'll increase our viewing hours and we'll be helping more people. So I know Fitzgerald, you did suggest that we break down our videos into the topics that were discussed, and I totally agree. If you notice in last week's video and potentially the one before, I actually put in the description at what time do we talk about each topic. And I'm going to be doing that with all of our videos moving forward. And I'm going to try to catch up on videos from the past as often as possible. I want to pull out clips and post those as videos themselves. So that way you can easily share just very specific topics that we address with those that you love. Sharing will help us increase our viewing hours. Hopefully, they will also then subscribe so we can increase our subscribers. This will really help us accomplish more of our mission in 2025 to help people live better and longer through education, through using NuSpecies products, through lifestyle changes. And we need that engagement to be able to accomplish our mission, and we need your help to do that. So please, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel and share our content with others. The second favor I have is to please join our email list. If you just go to the website, nuspecies.com, and you wait like 3 seconds, a pop-up will come up. This is joining you on our email and our text list. You don't have to do both, but ideally you would. We're really focusing all of our promotions, educational content, new announcements, and everything with our business hours. Anything you need to know about NuSpecies, we push through text, email, and also our app. So that's the best way to stay in touch with us. We really aren't crazy about social media, so we don't spend a whole lot of time on those platforms. Text, email, our app, YouTube. These are the places where we're consolidating our energy to give you what you need from us, okay? Sandra's asking if PSA is 0.06, what is needed to improve it? That can be improved. And Aston, we can get to that question next week. Unless, Aston, you want to quickly say possibly anti-inflammatory and NuGenesis?
Well, yeah. Well, those are, but yes, we can discuss it more next week. But yes, definitely those 3 you mentioned. And
All right.
and the final note for me, I would like you all to also share the links of the new history that we have on our YouTube, in our YouTube channel, New History, the Divine Origins. That's a huge part of our ancestry, human ancestry and health. And in the future, we can start discussing portions of it. So share it with family members and friends. And those of you who haven't seen those videos, please like them as well. I am told by a lot of clients now, why don't you ask people to like the videos and subscribe? You don't do that. You should do it. Everybody's doing it. And it's a way to get the word shared around the world, to get more views and get, have more education out there. So Jill and I we're learning. We were so focused on keeping you healthy and strong so you can live long and live better. But now we have you. You're our apostles. That's what you are. You're our apostles. So, share, the links with family members and friends and coworkers, and let's educate the world. The time has come in the history of the world of NuSpecies when we all need to join together and educate the world. Those of you who love NuSpecies, you believe NuSpecies helps you, you believe that NuSpecies works, you believe NuSpecies can help other people, then we are now hiring you. We're not going to pay you, but we're going to hire you for free as apostles of NuSpecies to spread the word by sharing, our videos and our videos and divine origins of history, ancient history, and natural history. Please do that. Let's educate the world.
Yeah, help us avoid advertising. We don't want to put out mass advertising to thousands of people who may or may not be a good fit for NuSpecies. We know you can help us identify very specific people who can benefit from what we do, and that we can pour our energy into helping. And if every dollar we save on not having to advertise, we can put into investing into new formulas. We can put more time into creating videos and educational materials for you. We can do a lot more printing of brochures or pamphlets about every single disease and all the health issues that you and your families have. So we can invest more money and energy and time into the stuff that actually impacts you on a daily basis if we are not advertising. So if you advertise for us, we don't have to do it, and we can just focus on what matters most to you and others is education and creating new, if we have to, creating new products, improving current products, whatever it is, we can do better the stuff that really matters. And we always appreciate your feedback. Fitz, we always appreciate your feedback. You have great ideas. And anyone else who wants to let us know how we can better serve you in 2025, let us know now. We're wrapping up our entire strategy for the whole coming year. And if you have any big requests, you want to make them now. Having said that, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We love talking to you here every Saturday. Truthfully, I know it's a Saturday and people like to be off, but we like being here with you and talking to you and sharing what we know and helping. So thank you all so much. And Aston, if you want to say any last words, I know you're going to get into your work at Bronxville today.
Oh, well, yes, thank you. I'm here today, folks, in Bronxville, and the weather's better. It's a little wet, but the weather's better. So come on over and see me. You don't need an appointment, and just come in, just walk in, and you can talk with me one-on-one about what you need to talk about to get help. So, and if I don't see you, speak with you, Happy New Year to all of you, and wish you all the best for the new year. And I hope you keep NuSpecies as part of your foundation for 2025 and onwards, and your friends and family and children as well. So, Happy New Year when it comes.
Same here. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.